EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. First down, they'll start. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now Stafford. There's the stiff arm. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. McCaffrey running up the middle. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mayfield gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fit.
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Rams are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And he slings one that's incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Going up top for Kupp. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. To return is Roberts. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Mayfield. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. A Nice little juke. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield now. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. Touchdown! Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play a long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. And the Rams in a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. That's a corner that got in there for the sack. Dante Jackson. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Stafford. And this one's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Stafford. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here now Roberts. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago. Add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. They'll run here with Akers. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. They'll run for it with Akers. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. It's his 8th rushing touchdown on the campaign and 10th overall. And the Rams' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. He got 29 yards that time. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And brought down there by Taylor Rapp.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in the game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Now it's Stafford. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Stafford going to give this to Akers. Nice move at the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 53 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Akers is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Going right back to Akers. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. 4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, It took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Plague did on the last one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Oh, the return is Powell. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 45 on 2nd down, Stafford. This is caught at the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 38.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Stafford. He's got it. It's Higbee. Touchdown Rams. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Gain is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there.
and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
66 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Stafford. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I'm sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
It was the second straight season of 9 sacks for Brian Burns, who continues to ascend as one of the league's best young pass rushers.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. And they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal.
Gay's kick is good.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out there in the muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalposts, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On 3rd down, Mayfield.
And he'll air this one deep for Anderson.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, that's not one you see very often on Aaron Donald, because we know he's not trying to do anything intentional, but that time, just a little too late for the officials' liking.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So naturally they will decline it. They got the 1st down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the 1st down through hard work and effort anyway? 1st down.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick.
And the Rams are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Stafford. Man open is Robinson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it.
That's caught inside the 20.
And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
A big play there for L.A. 44 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
He'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this 2nd half.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do, nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Brian Burns able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Stafford now to throw. And Pressure coming, and they got him once again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. The Rams on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be third and a mile. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. And some room to maneuver. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 126 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll look to run with Akers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Cam Akers, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Gain is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Carolina. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers get a bit closer. And they go with McCaffrey. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Stafford. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd able to record his 5th sack of the season. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. Roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. From the red zone now, Mayfield.
He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Blake Martinez.
And the Rams are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set. Here's Stafford. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
On the handoff, running left is Akers.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
147 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game. That means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. So the